There is a moment that changes everything, not when behavior improves, not when anxiety disappears, but when a person begins to understand themselves without shame. Today, I want to talk about self understanding, not as insight imposed from the outside, but as something that grows from safety and respect. Hello, and welcome back to the William Gomes Podcast. I am William Gomes, and I'm grateful to have you here. For many PDA individuals, life has been spent reacting to demands, to expectations, to pressure that arrives before there is time to think. When this happens over years, people often come to believe something painful, that they are broken, difficult, too much. Self understanding begins when that story is interrupted, not with blame, but with curiosity. Insight without shame is profoundly regulating. When a person realizes that their reactions make sense in the context of the nervous system, something softens. They are no longer fighting themselves. They are beginning to listen. Learning personal early warning signs is part of this process, not as a task, but as awareness. The subtle shifts that happen before overwhelm takes over, a tightening in the chest, a change in breathing, irritation that arrives without a clear reason. The signs are not failures. They are messages that the nervous system is nearing its limits. When the signals are recognized without judgment, choice becomes possible. Not perfect control, but earlier care. Self knowledge, in this sense, is autonomy. It allows a person to respond to their body rather than being driven by it. This is very different from being told what is wrong. It is about discovering what is true. Externalizing the nervous system can be deeply helpful here. Seeing reactions not as personality flaws, but as states, something that happens rather than something you are. This creates space for compassion, space for adjustment, space for dignity. A person can say, my system is overloaded rather than I am failing. That shift matters. It changes how people speak to themselves. It changes how they ask for support, and it changes how others respond. Building self compassion is not about positive thinking, it is about accurate understanding. When someone knows that their nervous system has been shaped by real experiences, the harsh internal critic often quietens, not because it has been argued with, but because it is no longer needed. Self understanding grows best in relationship. When others reflect back curiosity instead of judgment, when questions are offered rather than answers imposed, when there is permission to take time, over time, many PDA individuals develop a map, not a fixed diagram, but a living sense of what helps and what harms, what drains and what restores. This map is not about avoiding life, it is about navigating it with honesty. Knowing when to step back, when to ask for space, when to engage. This kind of self knowledge does not make someone rigid, it makes them freer because they are no longer constantly surprised by themselves. Helping a person map their own nervous system is not about teaching them to cope better. It is about helping them belong to themselves. And when someone belongs to themselves, the world becomes easier to negotiate. Not because it has changed, but because they have an internal compass that respects who they are. That is not a small achievement. It is the foundation of autonomy, dignity, and long term well being. Thank you for listening. This is the William Gomes Podcast. Take care of yourself. Stay curious. And if you found this episode helpful, you are very welcome to follow, share, leave a comment, or a rating. I will speak with you again soon.